All right. Think that could cause a fuel flow issue? So the lift pump or the brushless are suffering. All right, a lot more messing around, and you can hear it. So that's key on. Real smooth, no stuttering. Ladies and gents, quick update on this boy. The Holley accessories are amazing, but let me tell you something. Hey, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Look at this. It's double-sided now. Woo! Okay, the Holley accessories are amazing, but I did this on my Mustang too. The thermostat that comes with it, pretty hot. And when you buy like a 160 anymore, they're not really a 160. And then down in here where the thermostat is, they put these Allen cap, I think I threw them all out. They put these tiny little Allen cap boys in here. And then they have an Allen cap screw here. I bought a replacement. See, I put a water pump bolt in there with my spacers. So this strips and those two strip. And then I had to like burger my hands and get all this out. And I had to shove my grinder in here and grind the head of the bolt off and take the tensioner out and then drill and grind the heads off the thermostat. I totally ruined the thermostat housing trying to drill it. I had other ones, luckily, from like truck stuff. So I put that one on and I put the 160 in it. And then I go to tighten it and the bolt breaks in the thermostat. I was so mad at myself. I called myself a dickhead probably 450 times. So I had to use channel locks in this area and clamp it, and it was just shredding it. I mean, nightmare scenario. Anyway, I got that all done. So I would say if you do these, just buy a 160 immediately and swap out these Allen keys. I didn't have trouble with these Allen keys by the alternator. I had to swap my alternator. It was bad out of the box. They very quickly replaced it. So take my advice on that. So that's done. I got rid of the misfire, and what I did is I combined the grounds. I might have said this in another video. So both cylinder head grounds, it's really tough to get back here. So I combined the cylinder head grounds and put them to this cylinder head. And I did have a little bit of a funny misfire, but we had a misfire with the stock harness, not the Holley. And I ended up putting ugly coil packs zip tied to the fuel rails because his coil packs are like way down here. And I was like, let's just start swapping racks up top to make it easier. What I ended up doing on this side is crimping and pinning this guy just to test, and it seems to have worked. Then I had an issue where it would run out of fuel. It was still running out of fuel, and I will show clips of that. And I think I showed before it as hobby speed controllers, ESCs, in the back. And there is a pump feeding a 2.5 gallon surge tank. I'll show pictures of that. It's beautiful, and it makes me laugh that AMS was doing this stuff 15 years ago. It reminds me of the United States government. If that's what they had, what do they have now? Some insane stuff. So it has 2 brushless pumps and 2 50-amp speed controllers, and I could not get them to work right. Eventually, I talked to a hobby motor guy, and he's like, they work from 1 to 2 milliseconds, and then a motor that can go in reverse and forward. It has 1.5, and then above 1.5 is forward, and below 1.5 is reverse. So I messed around with it, and it pumped down as far as like 1.1. So I set up the fuel thing to run like a 120 and then ramp to a 2.0, and I couldn't hear it. But what was happening is when it would transition past like 1.5, it would stutter the speed controllers, like when you have a dead battery and your starter solenoid's like, it would do that. And in that amount of time, it would drop the fuel pressure to nothing. So I tested it, and I had a fuel tank here and a little rubber hose, and I would key it on, and I pick up the hose. You'll see it. It was like sputtering. And I took apart the entire back of this car. Everything. The floor, everything, guys. Everything back here. I took it all apart, and I couldn't fix it. Everything was fine. So I went to my laptop, and I messed with it for like 30 minutes. And then I realized if I started at 1.6 and I ramped to 2.0, it was smooth. And I have video of that. I think I videoed it vertically. Please don't shoot me. But 1.6 to 2, you can hear it. It go real smooth and go rear, like no stutters. So I haven't tested it yet because it's been raining for like 5 days since I did that. Of course, I'm scratching my nose. I'm very sorry. So next time I get to take it out, I get to see if there's fuel. And then if there's fuel and still not rain, Tom and I need to put the front end and hood on and go back to the dyno and see what happens. Yeah. So there's the updates for this. The only other thing that I wanted to do, what the hell was it? I think I'm blanking out. The one thing I wanted to do was a front speed sensor so we could do traction control, and I'll show pictures of that. But there's a little hoop back here that points right at the wheel stud bolts. And then I got a Hall effect sensor. Let's get this guy out. Again, this is a mess. I just explode projects all over this. I got this Hall effect sensor, but it came with the jankiest. This like flops on the threads. I went to Tractor Supply, and they didn't have anything but castle nuts. I guess it's like a really funny thread. So anyway, I can thread this in and point it directly at the wheel studs, and I can set up front wheel speed. And then I put a DT connector on it, and I did a 3-pin. This is a VR sensor, so it generates electricity. It's got a magnet in it, and I put a 3-pin on it in case I ever want to go to Hall effect. So I'm going to run it 3-pin. I only use the 2, so that explains that. So then we can have traction control. And then also what I'm doing is it's already 47 degrees here at night. My Mustang and this have water in them. So, you know, I did the thing here. The thermostat helped. And I have a ton of coolant there. And I'm going to put coolant in here and then do my Mustang next before they freeze and crack the rad on the block. So that is what's next. And see you later. Bye.